Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has announced measures to reduce HECS-HELP debt. But what about the $2.1 billion debt from the Student Financial Supplement Scheme, SFSS? This lesser-known debt trap from the 1990s continues to burden approximately 140,000 Australians. Former students who participated in the SFSS, a scheme initially introduced by the Keating government in 1993, are now calling for decisive government action to erase these lingering debts. The SFSS allowed students receiving welfare benefits, such as Austudy or youth allowance, to exchange their entitlements for a loan worth double the value of their benefits. The idea was to help students cover living expenses by essentially doubling their available funds. However, the catch was significant. Borrowers were required to repay the full loan amount, effectively twice what they initially received. The scheme persisted under the Howard government but was discontinued in 2003 due to its controversial nature and the financial strain it caused for many. One former student, Dee Marshman, vividly recalls the challenges she faced after enrolling in the scheme as a 17-year-old university freshman in 1997. At the time, it seemed like a lifeline. I was homeless, coming from a dysfunctional family environment, and I lacked financial literacy, she shared. Over 5 years, she exchanged $17,000 in entitlements for $34,000 in loans. Nearly 3 decades later, she still owes approximately $18,000. Deb Woodbridge, another participant, described how her $35,000 debt ballooned to $42,000 due to indexation. Despite paying for 20 years, she has only managed to reduce it to $7,500. It seemed like a fantastic opportunity at the time, but I didn't fully grasp that I'd have to repay double, she said. More than 350 former participants are now exploring legal avenues, claiming they were inadequately informed about the scheme's implications. Lawyer Andrew Greer, representing some of these individuals, believes the government and the Commonwealth Bank, responsible for managing the loans initially, share accountability. These were vulnerable young people, some as young as 16, who could not fully comprehend the consequences of what they were signing up for, Greer explained. The Commonwealth Bank has redirected inquiries to the government, which eventually took over managing the loans. Critics argue that presentations about the scheme often failed to clearly label it as a debt or loan, leaving students unaware of the long-term financial burden. The federal government recently announced a 20% reduction in HECS-HELP debts by June next year. This relief will also apply to the SFSS debts, but many former students are calling for complete debt cancellation. The Greens have echoed these demands, urging the government to take a more proactive stance. Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth declined to provide an interview but emphasized that repayments are income-based, ensuring they only begin once borrowers meet a certain threshold. While this system aims to ease repayment pressures, many argue it falls short, especially amidst the current cost of living crisis. Marshman and others are urging Prime Minister Albanese to take more decisive action. This is about breaking the cycle of generational poverty, Marshman stated. If the government doesn't address this issue, they risk leaving thousands of Australians in financial hardship for decades to come. Thank you for tuning in to Aussie Pulse, where we bring you the stories that matter. Make sure to subscribe for more in-depth coverage of Australian news and policies. Stay informed, and we'll see you in our next video.